Shreveport's Chief Administrative Officer, Brian Crawford. Hello, Mr. Brian. Merry Christmas. How you been?
Hey, good morning, folks. Merry Christmas to you as well.
Let's start with the garbage fee. Is it gone forever? And how disappointed was the mayor that it didn't even get on the itinerary at the city council meeting?
Well, let me say this. We deal in reality, and the fact is it's not there. And so the mayor put forth a budget that she thought was a solid piece of streamlining the document. She cut $4.6 million from the budget in 2016. We're taking about a $5 million reduction this year. And so she was moving something forward in a fee to try and create revenue to stabilize the solid waste collections, which is interesting because you've had somebody on your show from the council who actually advocated for it in a written piece with the Times, but then ran from it when he's on your show or at the council, which was pretty interesting. But, you know, the thing is it's not there. And so we're dealing with what we have to deal with, and nobody's done more with less than this mayor has.
Let's talk about the budget. We've cut, is it $4 million out of the budget from last year?
There were $4.6 million in cuts for 2016. There's another 5.6 that we're having to absorb this year, and that is in the way of when you have decreased revenues, which we have seen over a period of years. We're taking about a $2.5 million loss in revenue from sales tax in 2016, so we don't have that to deal with in 17. We've got 7% in health care costs for next year that are going to cost about $1.2 million. Classified contributions to employee retirement are going up about $500,000, and then fire and police contributions for retirement is another $200,000. And then we provide our police officers and firefighters with a 2% cost of living increase as mandated by state law and practiced by the city. That's another $1.1 million. So now think about that. That's $5.6 million in additional cost or lost revenue that we're having to absorb in a budget that you'll see a decrease in as far as the general fund goes. Last year's budget was about $227 million. This year's is $219. So we are, tightening our belts and doing what we have to do to keep, Mayor Tyler does a great job, better than anybody I've ever seen, at keeping city services rolling. The city's never looked better and cost citizens less. She stretched that taxpayer dollar further than anybody ever has before. And let me give you an example of that. In 2008, the general fund budget was $199 million, so right at $200 million. This year in 2017, what she's proposed is $219 million. So $20 million increase in that 9-year period. At the same time, city benefits for employees, that's retirement, civil service retirement from fire and police, and group insurance has gone up from $20 million to $46 million.
Wow.
And so those benefits, not extra spending, as one of your guests that likes to be on your show quite a bit talks about, we're spending more money, we're hiring more people. That's a complete false statement.
Do you have more employees now than you did last year?
We have less. Let me tell you this. We have, and sometimes, and you guys know this, you guys have both been in business a long time. When you show employees in a document like the budget, those are positions that you have allocated. What the mayor does is we adjust our budget as we go to actually fill positions or not fill positions depending on how much money we have. So let me give you another for instance. In 2008, there were 2,800 employees filled positions, okay? In 2016, there were 2,600 filled positions. So we've eliminated 200 positions while absorbing an extra, $25 million in health care and retirement benefits over the last 9 years.
Let me ask you something, Brian. As sales tax revenues go down,
Yep.
Our population is also going down. Is it time that maybe our leaders, the city council, and I'm not just going to lay this on the mayor,
Sure.
but the city council and others look at, there may just be some programs we can no longer provide to our citizens because our income is just not there, but we want to keep critical services there.
Well, we're always interested in that discussion, and I think Mayor Tyler has done she uses the term all the time. She's the mayor, not a magician, but she has done some magical things in 2 years. I mean, when she came into office, what did we hear, Erin? We heard infrastructure, fix the streets, fix the water, fix the sewer, keep public safety as a priority in your administration. She has done all of those things. She's fixed 148 streets in just 2 years. She's launched the most aggressive street campaign in the city's history and spent about $46 million doing that. But there's no question, it's not a sky is falling scenario, but the mayor's done a great job at adjusting the budget. And I just gave you some of those examples. We have 200 fewer employees that are actually filling positions today than they did 9 years ago. We have made $4.6 million in cuts in 2016. We're trimming the budget this year by another $5.6 million. So we're doing all those things, but at the same time, the citizens aren't seeing an effect in service.
Pardon me, Brian. That was going to be, we got just about a minute.
Sure.
My question was going to be, so if the same or attempting to do the same with less. What fallout, what changes over the next year will the Shreveport citizens see?
Yeah, the citizens aren't going to see any change. I mean, they're still going to have the same fire service. I mean, we're not closing any fire stations. We're not laying off any employees. Their garbage is going to be picked up at the same time. I mean, we're asking a lot of our city employees. We're doing more with less, and that's a challenge to us. And Mayor Tyler tried to do that, show the appreciation to the employees this year in providing a 5% pay increase, but we couldn't do that. Employees are going to hit those increases next year for their health care insurance. But you had one guest on there in particular that has said something about taxes and we're the highest taxes. That's not because of the city. In fact, the city of Shreveport rolled back taxes again in 2016 from 36.65 mils to 36.29 mils. Since taking office, Mayor Tyler has supported and worked with the city council in rolling back property taxes 3.5 mils since 2015. And that saved the average taxpayer about $40 per $100,000 value. So she hasn't been the one that's been rolling taxes forward. She's been the one that's streamlining her budget, doing more with less, and trying to provide the citizens with that basic level of city services that you're talking about. Has she hired more police officers? Yes, she's not going to apologize for that. Did she buy police cars that haven't been bought since 2012? Yes, we did that last year in providing our officers those 90 needed police cars. She's not going to apologize for that. Did she buy Packers that were needed for our solid waste employees? Yes. So she is providing those basic city services. Those get our attention first and foremost. And then we work on those other quality of life issues that we talk about as far as the infrastructure, having a clean city, and making it marketable. You talk about the loss of population, the loss of revenue. How do we get that back? We invest in ourselves, and we make ourselves attractive to businesses, communities, families, and individuals who want to live here and do business here and work here.